Wait until you see the audience. The audience is just, you can hear it riveted, clamoring. We're at Alyssa's beautiful farm, George, Andy.
Oh,
in
wonderful.
Palm Springs. Can you show them the palms?
Oh, you're in Palm Springs. All right.
There's palm trees.
Welcome. Welcome to
Hey, Andy.
the
Oh, hey,
second
Andy.
chapter of the 7 Roman rules. Thank you for putting up with our technical difficulties.
Yeah, sorry. Our crew really just.
Yeah, they
It's worth it because you two are beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Hi, everybody. Hi, Sylvia. Well, thank you, everybody, for being here, including the number 202.
Welcome to
765-6555. Hey, Katya.
Katya. And Elise, who's our director for this episode.
Yeah, hi, Phil. Hey, everybody. Hey, babe.
We've got
Kenny. Thanks for being here.
We've got LA. Vicky's here from Paris. Lil and Phil out on the Cove in Virginia.
Joan. Hey,
Joan.
Oh,
Joan's here from Georgetown. Joan is one of our honored centurions. Pauline from Rochester.
Okay. Many of
Elizabeth. My whole accountability group is
hi,
here.
Natasha.
Elizabeth's in Ireland. Even Natasha are in England.
Who's this?
That's Elizabeth.
Oh, hi,
from
Elizabeth.
Ireland. Oh, darn. Sabine and Bjorn were here a little while ago. There's Bjorn.
Okay. So many of you have already attended another reading. So we've abbreviated it for this round, but we're going to still have some of it so the rest of you get context. And huge thanks to all of you for your support on this journey. It's without you, we wouldn't have this and this progress. And especially to our hosts, Alyssa and George here in Palm Springs, which helped.
And so much appreciation to Andy.
And Andy for making
the avocado toast this morning.
It was really awesome. And George made a cheese plate too.
Thanks, George. We appreciated that.
So again, excerpts from intro and then one chapter. And here we go. It'll be about 30 minutes.
Okay, so we are 2 sisters whose lives were shaped by the joie de vivre of our rascally father and the puritanical propriety of our honest mother. We would not think these thoughts or write these words without their highly contradictory teachings. One thing they agreed on, though, was encouraging us to have adventures. For this, we are grateful.
We thank our friends whose stories we share in this book, along with our own. We thank our exes for loving us and giving us food for thought. We thank our numerous families for keeping life fun. And we thank Pasquale for inviting us to his island home in the Tuscan archipelago and giving us an unexpected and much needed reprieve from our love-torn, overworked lives before traveling on to Rome. This book was conceived during that memorable trip in 2009.
All roads lead to Rome. Anonymous. We've all heard the saying, but you don't have to go to Rome to follow these rules. Rome is a state of mind. It's about beauty and also adventure, a greater joie de vivre, a greater dolce vita, a feeling of being light, warm, open, just plain happy. This light and happy state is our natural state of being. We could spend more of our time this way in our everyday lives. But how? The 7 Roman rules will guide you.
This book was inspired by the magnificence and the pleasures of this unequal city, the art, the cuisine, and yes, the men. They are hot and sexy, but they are not as self-absorbed as they could be. They know how to live and love, and they let you know it. Since we were freshly single, it seemed natural to explore the whole subject of romance. These 7 rules of Rome are based on real romantic experiences and the lessons learned from them. What did we learn, and how might this knowledge enhance your joie de vivre? This is what we share with you, dear reader.
We soon realized that these rules applied not just to romance, but to all kinds of relationships with colleagues, and clients, plumbers, and cameramen, family and friends, as well as the most important relationship of all, the one you have with yourself. At the end of the day, you are in the driver's seat of your own life.
There will be times, of course, when the joy is missing in life. Instead of a magnificent marble archway beckoning, all you see is a brick wall. That's a good time to open this book and select a rule. Meditate on it, read through the practice section, then apply it and see what happens. Why not start with your love life, like we did? What do you have to lose? Tennyson rightly said, "'Tis better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all."
A couple of words you need to get down. What is a centurion? In the Roman legions, these were soldiers known for their valor, strength, and experience who were picked to lead a century or 100 soldiers. They were honored by society, exempt from public punishment, and rewarded with medallions and other fancy tchotchkes. In this book, the title of centurion is bestowed on one who has mastered the rules of Rome and can inspire and lead others in its practice. And we have one honored centurion here, Joan.
Joan, maybe Anne will show.
And Sarah's here.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, Katya's here. Okay.
If you feel inspired, send us your story. If you can swear by one of the 7 Roman rules, let us know why. Anne will send the first 20 readers either a set of hand towels or a terry cloth bath mat. That's right, a terry cloth bath mat.
Yep.
If there is a sufficient demand for a free hotline to help advise our readers, we may consider setting one up. If you find that this book doesn't serve you in any way, we suggest passing it along to a friend or placing it on a park bench.
These are the chapters of the 7 Roman rules. I'll just read out their titles to give you so what's your taste buds? Number 1, reject old rules. Number 2, follow through. Number 3, grow your mojo. Number 4, age is irrelevant. Number 5, trust the heat. Number 6, Carpe Tiempo. Number 7, push on through. And today's chapter is
Carpe Tiempo. Quick warning, Roman mythological figures appear throughout the book, and specifically in this chapter, the Roman chorus steps in to comment with mask on.
Real quickly, can I just ask is make sure everyone's on mute? I'm hearing an echo and I want to make sure everyone else is not hearing that echo as well.
okay.
So if just everyone can check that they're on mute.
Okay. Pauline teaches
I think
me.
we're
Pauline
good.
teaches me.
Thank you, Elise.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you.
All right.
You're gonna read.
So, carpe tiempo, or seize the momentum of time, or
Waste no time.
what is time from a Roman perspective? Picture the following. We're 2 sisters strolling by night through the beautiful illuminated ruins of the ancient city of Rome. We pass under a gigantic stone arch that we guess to be at least 500 years old. Boy, are we wrong. After consulting our trusty Siri, we find out that it was built in 300 BC.
What? We can't even wrap our heads around that amount of time. People, namely slaves, spent their whole lives building that effing arch. What happened to them? What happened to their stories, to their dogs and cats? How did they have fun? We know they had sports and culture, Aesop's fables and the like. How did we get from then to now? It's mind-blowing when you start to think about it.
We pause to reflect. What are we doing with our lives? Well, at present, we're strolling in Rome, looking at the ruins, about to drink some wine. A strapping waiter is waving to us and gesturing towards an outdoor table under a deep green awning. But what about the bigger picture?
How can we look at the passage of time and make it add up to something? Are we just coasting? Are we wasting time? This rule says the opposite. Waste no time. Or in Latin parlance, carpe tiempo. Another way to translate this is seize the dynamic of time.
Jane recollects Edward Morehouse, a seasoned HB studio acting teacher in New York City, who asked his class,
"Who has a scene to do?"
When her fellow students looked around, shrugging their shoulders, he admonished them.
"Gotta get busy or you'll waste your life."
Jane adds,
there was plenty of resonance in what he said. He didn't have to shout.
François Mitterrand, one of France's shortest and most virile presidents, had a wonderful concept of time. Il faut laisser du temps au temps. In English, this translates jauntily into you have to take the time in order to have the time, for his mistresses, of course. Jane says,
yeah, it's like making a basket full of time. If I wake up at 6 a.m. instead of 7 a.m., I get an extra hour to write, do yoga, meditate, plan my day in an unrushed way, and eat breakfast.
Carpe Tiempo is not about frenetic overactivity. Some may find that life is made richer by taking it slow. The Roman example is fitting. Everybody's beautiful, but maybe a source of that beauty is their relaxed and confident quality. They exude a sexiness and dress in a colorful and playful way. Even the food is sexy in Italy. Everything tastes better. Why is that?
I'll tell you, Italians take their time with their meals. They're not rushed. And after a simple, delicious lunch of spinach and potato soup with wine and crusty bread, you stroll through enchanted gardens strewn with ruins of Corinthian columns where you may hear a student string quartet.
Jane evokes a concept of time from her pre-Roman days.
Pre-Roman.
Called the pinch.
I used to think I could only take 1 week off for vacation during the summer. So on day 7, I'd take a night flight home, take a shower and change, and then head straight to work in the afternoon. You know, the pinch. I didn't think I could justify staying away longer to my boss or my boyfriend.
These days, after rigorously practicing this rule, Jane takes 2 weeks of vacation. There's no rush. It's carpe tiempo without pinching.
How about taking the time to start a family? Anne Zooms her friend Trang, a successful social media marketer who made the time to stay home with her baby girl.
Career women get stuck thinking they can't possibly do what you did, Trang.
Trang sweeps a strand of long hair from her forehead as she bounces 1-year-old Lucy on her lap. The hardest thing I had to do when the baby came was turn down work. But basically, I told my clients, you'll have to get used to this for a while. We've been living month to month from my income and my husband's graduate student loans. But thanks to Lucy, I'm much more relaxed about money. Anne remarks,
the love for your baby makes those oxytocins that help you float over the obstacles you used to stress about. Trang responds,
that's exactly what happens. This is my job. And she is such a joy. Motherhood has enriched my life more than I could have imagined. Antonio and I are so grateful.
What would you say to women approaching 40 and hesitating between work and motherhood?
Geez, you can always work. I put in extra hours all the time. But when can you have a 1-year-old bringing joy and laughter into your life? I wish I had more confidence about doing this and hadn't been so terrified pre-baby. Now we're looking forward to doing more traveling with Lucy. She already had her first plane trip to Chicago, and we'll see her grandparents in Italy as soon as we can.
People can play hard, work hard, love hard, and also have that joie de vivre, that enjoyment of life that includes playtime with your baby. In order to carpe tiempo, you may have to go a bit overboard compared to your norm, to break out of the blah routine and strike a new balance. Ariane, the great tango dancing centurion living in Nice, has a joyful routine for seizing the dynamic of time. She explains,
I have this little technique where I have my alarm set every hour, and every hour I dance. Or I sing if it gets late, something like Patsy Cline, so I don't disturb the neighbors.
as the sisters stood under that colossal arch of glistening marble, they realized that there was a whole different concept of time out there. Roman time is about feasting on experiences. By doing something that excites and challenges you and feeds your soul, you are expanding time exponentially. How is this possible?
Science makes everybody perk up and pay attention. What is a scientific concept of time? Physicists talk about a thing they call space-time, which basically means that time is just as fillable as space. Here's an equation. Desire plus action plus experiences equals time to the nth degree.
Our lives can overflow with sights, sounds, smells, and tastes that delight and fill the spirit as we pay more attention to the simplest of experiences. Listening to the birds chirp, smelling the sweetness of a rose, painting a dead cactus blue, tasting homemade Nocciola gelato with a dollop of fresh whipped cream.
Oh my gosh.
We sense we are living life to the fullest. Oop. The chorus in unison enters and inquires with delight.
How do we carpe tiempo when in Rome? Imagine the sun beginning to set over the Colosseum, people of all ages coming out to stroll in the cool evening air, and a happy, chatty crowd beginning to gather in restaurant terraces. Some people may think the ultimate experience is to go to the Vatican and watch the Pope wave from the balcony, and that's okay. A different experience, such as dancing the tango at 2 a.m. with the owner of a restaurant on the Piazza San Marco, while his buddy plays the bongos, could be equally memorable. What matters is that you pack your day with fun, food, and adventure when you travel to Rome or anywhere. Sleep when you're dead, right?
When in Rome.
The chorus nods in approbation.
The sisters begin to giggle about one of their nights in Rome.
Oh, Lord.
They remember enjoying a final glass of Chianti in an outdoor restaurant terrace. The normally busy piazza took on a mysterious beauty at that late hour. The restaurant owner announced that he was closing and politely suggested that the sisters join him and his friend inside. He generously poured them icy limoncello and soon pulled out a guitar and began to sing. His friend would not be outdone and joined in on the bongos. So to continue the entertainment without waking the whole neighborhood, the owner invited everyone downstairs into the cellar, this vaulted and extraordinarily kitsch dining room with plastic begonias festooning fake marble columns and a wall-sized photo of Capri created a backdrop for an improvised tango with Anne holding one of those plastic begonias between her teeth.
Let me restart this. Some of the experiences you create or pounce on may not be the smartest ones. like when Anne ventured into the restaurant's broom closet with the bongo player after doing the tango. But if you carpe tiempo, you will most likely have a life filled with great memories. These will feed your soul during long winter months, or while you raise your kids, or while you eat your sandwich in front of your computer at work. So what exactly happened in the broom closet with Anne and the bongo player? What took place, we leave to your imagination. It will probably be more exciting than what actually happened.
Definitely, definitely. The chorus enters and speaks in unison.
What matters is that Anne took the initiative to carpe tiempo. We're here now. The past is over. The future can wait. How do we make this time on earth count? By laughing until you pee in your pants at least 1,000 times in your life.
We should probably learn Kegels.
Ah, heck, just throw your underwear in the laundry and put on a fresh pair, because tomorrow may be your funeral.
As she utters these words, Jane thinks of her closest high school friend, Terry, who died recently after years of battling Crohn's disease.
Life is short.
Here's a Carpe Tiempo tale of true love. Tim and Becky met in their mid-60s. They were both single veterans of unhappy marriages and had pretty much given up finding a soulmate. But when they met and fell madly in love with each other, Becky soon moved in with Tim. Shortly thereafter, they invited a few friends to join them for a simple wedding in an outdoor city park. Jane recalls,
he was attracted to her fiery red hair, stiletto heels, and short skirts. She loved his dry wit and his charming, gentlemanly demeanor. They were always giggling and acting like teenagers in love.
Becky decorated Tim's apartment with handmade crafts and even prettied up his man cave. Tim was a 2-time cancer survivor whose whole MO was to enjoy life and savor every moment. But after a few months of skipping through the fields of marital bliss, Tim got some bad news, a new cancer diagnosis. It was a tough time, but their love deepened throughout his treatment, and Tim was blessed with 2 years of remission. Chorus. The chorus, wearing masks of joy and sorrow, speak.
Their time together helped Becky realize how lucky she was to experience the love of her life, even though their third and final year together was one of sickness and priming for death.
People tend to put off learning or doing something great or jumping into an experience until a specific unknown time in the future. You can't go to Europe with your spouse until your kids are older or out of college or until you're retired.
Why not go next summer? Are you letting time tick along and not jumping in? Invite him to coffee, take that class, buy that outfit before it goes on sale and run out of your size. Don't put that thing off until some ambiguous time in the future. Do it now. Carpe tiempo.
Like Tim and Becky, why not jump into a new relationship if your instincts are telling you, hey, there's something good here. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Many of us are afraid of judgment or that we'll waste time by having that experience. But if it doesn't work out, you've had an experience and that makes you grow. You've learned what you want and what you don't want in life. That's Carpe Tiempo.
Dear reader, we admit that we are still getting a handle on this rule. So here's a good place as any to offer a poetic phrase or two.
Are we just grains of sand on the beach? Intelligent dirt?
Heck no! We are spirits cloaked in these bodies, and we yearn to see the sunshine, skinny dip in the Mediterranean, party it like it's 1999. Carpe Tiempo!
To practice this rule,
This is the practice.
try seeing time as a vessel for new experiences. Think, time is there on the other side of my next experience as much as it is here at the end of my current experience.
You may procrastinate because you don't want to do a certain thing, like take stuff to the dump. Instead of dragging your heels and having a second cup of coffee while gazing out the window and mildly hoping it will rain, tell yourself, I'll go have a fresh new experience and enjoy clearing a pile of junk that's been sitting around for months, if not years. It'll be fun. Practicing a joyful attitude as you head toward the next experience might bring a refreshing new outcome. Try applying this attitude with the same equanimity to boring actions like finishing your income taxes and doing pleasant actions like calling a good friend. Often we are just getting through our daily duties.
But there is meaning in those activities that seem mundane, like the ritual of breakfast, lunch, dinner, clothes on, clothes off. We suggest that before you turn off the bedroom light, take an extra 5 minutes to review the things you're grateful for and how you've accomplished them during the day. A, B, C.
Carpe Tiempo means taking the time to reflect on the events in our lives and saying, wow, that was cool, instead of racing on to the next item of business. We so often forget to do that. Also, being early creates time.
It's taken years for us to realize this.
Still learning.
Being early gives us time to savor time, get focused on the present, breathe before an important meeting, call mom. Remember what the Marines always say,
If you're on time, you're already late. A way to expand time is to learn how to slow down, participate in a yoga class, practice meditation, or any other discipline that focuses the mind, like painting, playing music, or working out. This creates space and quiets the mind, which is often chock full of thoughts and emotions clunking around like wet sneakers in a drive.
and yes, dear reader, simply being aimless for a spell, stretching out on the couch or playing with a kitten can refresh us so that we are ever prepared to
Carpe Tiempo.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's
Thank
the chapter.
you. Join us here, the audience. Standing ovation.
Woo!
All right, got that?
Yay!
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. For a second reading.
Thank you.
Oh, it's so good to see everyone. You can unmute if you like.